Hey gamers, Bullets here. In this video I am bringing you the good and the bad of Transformers Rise of the Darkspark on PlayStation 4. First off, let's get to the story. Not much to say about it honestly. It's the same thing, it's just the bad guy coming to take an artifact that will give him unspeakable powers, one that destroying the human race will be that much easier. And it's your job to battle from stage to stage to get it back. However, for some odd reason, the story switches from Autobots to Decepticons, so much that you pretty much have to know these bots by name in order to know which side you're fighting for at that particular time. Though the voice acting is done very well, each bot, be it friend or foe, their personalities are really captured, so you feel kind of like you're watching a movie or even a cartoon from back in the day during the cutscenes. However, the story told in voice is pretty lame. The musical score isn't half bad though. The game itself, not so great. Rise of the Darkspark plays very linear, as it's no open world option here, but a level mission and mission kind of gameplay. That's not the problem. Not every game needs to feel like an open world, so that's not the problem at all. But the levels and missions seems to be pretty repetitive, like all the other Transformer games in the past. Blow this shit up, turn that switch on or off, blow up these guys. You know where that's going. You get it. So, gameplay should save this one, right? Wrong! The balance of damage given and taken seems to be way off, making going through the campaign that much more of a pain in the ass. You can take a limited amount of beating from most baddies, but when it comes to these little flying laser shooters, for instance, you can be taken out in a second or two or flat. Just 1 second or two, and then you're fucking done. Since those little guys are harder to spot in such a large area, a wide area of angles to keep track of at one time, especially in the flying missions and whatnot, you won't see them half the time, making it almost certain that they will kill you once they started shooting lasers up your metallic ass. Though extremely cool looking when transforming, the control of the vehicle's forms is terrible. About as sluggish as something off of PlayStation 2, with slightly better graphics. Yeah, I said PlayStation 2 on purpose, man. I didn't misspeak that. In fact, transforming, switching weapons, and switching weapons sides are about the only cool thing in this game. The detail in the transformations is pretty good, and it really puts the next-gen system to work. Kind of. The detail of the stages, however, terrible. Barely even looks like it's worth calling it a PlayStation 3 game, much less a PlayStation 4 game. The only thing that saves the environment at all is resolution. But other than that, it's very plain, very boxy, very boring. Even the explosions resemble that of a fart lit on fire with a few chunks of shrapnel bouncing around. Yawn. However, there are plenty of weapons and bots to play with though, so that's nice. But the abundance of bots really only has a good effect in multiplayer and not in story mode. Story mode, you are forced to use whatever bot is being used in that particular level, though you have some freedoms of switching weapons when you find a weapon stand. But other than that, you're using whatever bot they give you. Speaking of weapons, they are upgradable with points awarded per gun through your progression. Speaking of progression, there's also a level up system in play here that's linked between multiplayer and single player that gives boxes full of goodies like new weapons, hacks, mods for your armor, etc. The multiplayer itself is probably the most entertaining portion of the game. This is where you get to choose which Autobot or Decepticon you'd like to use, although you need to level up to unlock all of them. Did I mention that leveling up is way too easy and you get way too many unlocks per level and challenge accomplished? This makes the game feel, well, like you can have it done in a couple of weeks tops. I rented this title and it offered me no reason to buy it at full price, or at all for that matter. I wouldn't even buy it for 30 bucks to be honest, but that's going off the topic. Rise of the Darkspark offers you a survival type of challenge, much like Call of Duty Zombies or Invasion. The objective? Survive and blow up all the other bots. This game mode offers up to 4 players in one match, with turrets, health, and damage stations to utilize and upgrade, as well as a weapon station for yourself to reload or switch weapons. Being able to unbox your packages and equip them during gameplay is a nice feature in survival mode. However, it's not enough to save this title or even the mode itself. The gameplay is still mind-numbingly repetitive, and you will find yourself bored in a matter of hours. Not bored as in stop and play later, just bored of the title, period. All in all, Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark is yet another movie title gone wrong, only making sales simply because of the licensing of Transformers, period, and not so much because it's a good game, because it's not. I rate this game a 4 out of 10, and it only got that because the multiplayer was fun for a little while, and the transformations were pretty cool. Do yourself a favor and rent this title before you buy it, please. Keep in mind, I'm just one guy with one opinion, so my word is not set in stone, but I hope I helped you avoid a bad purchase, especially for as much money as games cost these days. Don't forget to favorite, rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Bullets for Lunch, signing off. Goodbye.